Arcadian Vanguard presents the Wrestling News and your daily wrestling newscast for Tuesday, March 4th, 2025. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with Monday Night Raw streamed live on Netflix from the KeyBank Center in Buffalo, New York. In the main event, Io Sky became the new World Women's Champion, defeating Rhea Ripley in 18 minutes and 35 seconds.
Rhea looking for a riptide from way up top. Io Sky counter into a Hurricane Rana.
Thought she was going to call her shot like Babe Ruth.
Io Sky top rope. Over the moonsault connects. Sky cover. Hooks the leg. Io Sky is the world champion. Io's going to WrestleMania.
Here's your winner, and new Women's World Champion, Io Sky.
What a shocker. Io Sky will defend the Women's World title against Bianca Belair at WrestleMania.
As a result of her victory, Sky is now scheduled to defend the title against Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. The show opened with an intense promo from CM Punk in which Punk laid into The Rock, John Cena, and Seth Rollins.
Listen up, Dwayne, you bald fraud. Jeez. You think because you're on the board of directors you're immune from criticism? Well, you don't know who you're dealing with. You are dealing with the best in the world. Middle-aged and crazy, walked back into the WWE after 10 years and literally marched through hell to receive opportunities at the big dance. And you, Mr. Midlife Crisis, just decide to walk in when you feel like it and hide behind the fact that you think you're a bigger star than everybody here. I would love to say all of this to your face, but you have not graced us with your presence to do your bullshit. To hit your arm, to pretend that you care about this business that gives you goosebumps.
Rollins later emerged and the two men brawled extensively all over the building. Later on, Adam Pearce announced a steel cage match between the two is set to take place on next week's Raw from Madison Square Garden. The War Raiders successfully defended the World Tag Team title, defeating American Made. Also on the show, World Champion Gunther pinned Otis. After the match, Gunther continued the attack on Otis and Akira Tozawa. Jey Uso attempted to make the save but was distracted by A-Town Down Under and choked out by Gunther. In other results, Women's Intercontinental Champion Lyra Valkyria retained against Ivy Nile. Braun Breaker took out the Judgment Day during a promo segment, and Penta took over Ludwig Kaiser during another promo segment. In All Elite Wrestling news, Rey Fenix has officially departed the company, according to a report from Mike Johnson, who also indicated, according to his sources, that it's all but certain that his next stop would be WWE, where his brother Penta, another AEW alum, recently debuted. AEW yesterday announced a partnership with the commercial live sports exhibitor Johan Promotions. The exclusive multi-year agreement would see AEW pay-per-view events distributed to commercial locations such as bars, casinos, and restaurants in the United States and Canada. The new deal represents a contract extension to the original partnership between AEW and Johan that began in 2019. And finally, in ratings news, last Friday, SmackDown brought in 1.731 million viewers to USA Network, down slightly from the previous week's 1.736 million. The rating in the 18 to 49-year-old demographic was a 0.52, up from the previous week's 0.51 rating. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.